Emory, hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Heavenly Pennies, everyone. Emory Eckenrode, she is a yoga instructor as well as a student who actually has taken a little bit of a flip. Usually, I know a lot of people that have maybe gone to school and then they kind of find yoga, and you found yoga, before even thinking of venturing and getting something, with a further degree with business. I know that you said that you mentioned that you were going for. So tell us a little bit about your journey and what called you to be a yoga instructor.
So, I've been doing yoga since I was young with both of my parents, and I took a gap year off of school. Um, in between college, I didn't know, or high school and college, I didn't know what I wanted to do yet. Um, and my parents were like, we'll let you take a year off if you find something to do, So I was working for a while, and then I remember just going and looking on yoga retreats, and I was actively going to class and stuff and getting like really into it. And then I found a yoga teacher training, 200 hours in Costa Rica, and I decided to book it and go in February 2018.
So
And I've been
cool.
teaching ever since.
That's so awesome. I love that.
hmm
And I know that your mom also played a huge influence as that with that situation as well. She told me when she was
Of
looking
course.
into it. And it's so great because, to get that extra push with something that, on the surface may seem very risk taking, to go to
hmm
another country and get certification in, this practice, to be away for that extended period of time. And I know
hmm
some of your most beautiful pictures that I've seen were taken there. And it seems
Yeah,
like it was really a magical experience for you there.
it was so magical. It was so much. I can't wait to go back. But yeah, it was awesome to have the support from both of my parents telling me, like, I think I was 17 at the time, maybe just turned 18, and they were both pushing me to go so hard. They were like begging me to go, really supporting me. So it was really cool of them to support me through my yoga journey like that.
I love that about you, your adventurous spirit, which is why I'm all in the fairy garb, because I call you like my little fairy, because you have
hmm
this magical, just highly energetic presence from the moment that I met you, when you came to my class at the studio and I was teaching a Reiki vinyasa flow. And I know you
hmm
were really intrigued with the Reiki and you were looking to get into teaching because you had just gotten back from your trip not too
hmm
long ago with Costa Rica. And I said, this girl needs to teach here. I know I put in a good word with you at the studio, as well as our other friend Gina put in a good word for you. We said,
hmm
we need M here. Like, she's
My
great.
girls are
Yes,
awesome.
always, always. And it was great to also have you as a student for my Reiki training, to get you
hmm
certified as a master. And also as probably the youngest person that I've certified at 20 years old. I can't even believe that, considering all of the things that you've done, and the reading that we had during that. I just remember giving you
Yeah.
the Reiki attunement, and I got a few hits from spirit, and I said, I see a yellow sun, which I thought may be associated with the solar plexus. And then I said, but I see Florida. I said, you're going to Florida. I see you there. I see the beach. I see Florida. And you said, I don't know, maybe. And then, like, a few months later, you're like, hey, guess what? I'm going to school in Florida. And I said, what? Which that was a whole turn for a loop, because you go expecting to go to college in Florida and then the college isn't open. And then wait, there's more, listeners. She decides that she's not going to stay here in Pennsylvania and do her remote learning, or live in Florida and do her remote learning. She is then going to move to San Diego, California, to experience another area, beautiful area. I'm so jealous right now. And do her learning there remotely, which is such a genius idea. I mean, because that's not something people would typically think of. Like they would think, okay, it's remote. Well, I'll stay at home, or maybe I'll stay living near campus where I was living. But you said, okay, why not? And I love that about you. I love your free spirit. What made you get this idea that this was like the journey of this adventure that you were going to take?
Everything fell into alignment. I was originally, I had worked in Ocean City, Maryland over the summer and waited tables and stuff during Corona, which was pretty crazy. And then my plan was to go back to Florida, but somewhere else in Florida, just to like live and chill there and experience there. And I don't know, I just thought everyone's kind of bumming during this COVID time, so why don't I go do something cool? Why don't I go see something new? So I packed up the Jeep and we drove to San Diego. We've been here ever since. So
That's so great. You're
yeah,
there with your boyfriend, right?
yeah,
That's so
hmm,
fun.
yeah.
Such an adventurous life that you live. I swear, I wish I had that energy and that motivation when I was that young, trying to figure things out. Very adventurous, fun loving spirit. So awesome, awesome
Hmm.
stuff. Glad that I crossed paths with you during your brief time back here in PA.
Me too. So glad. So grateful.
So, why don't you tell everyone what is your experience with Reiki now that you've gotten certified with that, and your experience with the training? I know you were, before we hopped on here, you were saying a lot of the things that we were kind of sharing during that time have come into fruition aside from the Florida thing. So, just curious as to your take and what you'd like to share regarding that with listeners.
Yeah. So ever since then, every time I see someone on the side of the road or see an ambulance or see anyone, I give them a quick little zap, and that
Reiki
always
that. I love
that's
it.
always so sweet. But yeah, I things are just things just correlate that you would never think would line up. Like when you were attuning me, you had said um something about light shining through the trees. And I was like, oh, like that's nice because my childhood home is like in the woods. So I kind of thought that that was some like inner child thing. And then that relates to the sun in Florida, like you were saying before, and the journey out here, crazy car breaking down situation, and like in the little moments of clarity that I had, I saw the light shining through the tree. And here it's like all it's so intertwined, it's so connected, and it's really wild. And I sometimes I'll go through and attune myself and my boyfriend too, or loved ones at home who need it. I'll give them a little distance healing. Yeah, it's I'm so happy to have the healing energy. I'm so happy to have the healing energy.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody has it. It's just if you want to tap into it and you really have looked into honing that craft. And, the
Mhm.
biggest thing with it is, I can suggest things and ways to use this modality, but really it's a matter of what it means to you and how you can, express that and really use that gift and allow
Mhm.
it to shine. And I also love the little tree story that you shared. I was actually just doing a yoga nidra meditation. I'm getting the yoga nidra certification. And when I was in the process, they had suggested writing down some symbols and things that you see. And I had seen, again, like with the thin trees, I saw like that image again. So with you mentioning the trees again, it all connects. And it's a matter of you can hear messages in a variety of ways, and it can connect to so many different people at different levels. And that's the beauty of these symbols and these messages and these universal
Mhm.
pennies from heaven, that we can really take a look inward and say, okay, because it's so easy to just say, well, what do you think this means? Or what is this? But when you're looking on the outside, you're not really gaining what it is trying to tell you. So like the importance is to really look within, and you having that moment, your car's broken down on the side of the road. I didn't say, I see a car broken down on the side of the road. It was just a matter of, I see the lights through the trees. And like when you feel that moment, right, you're just taking that look around and it comes back tenfold. You're like, oh, it like brings you back to that moment. That's when
Mhm.
it's coming from source. I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
remember everything that I said to you. The only thing that I remembered was the Florida thing. And when you said you were going to
Mhm.
school, my mouth dropped. So I love the Eckenrodes. Shout out to your mom again, too. Shout out to your mom, because also loved doing a little Reiki intuitive session with her as well. And I know that
Mhm.
you're similar in the sense that you will see things when you're practicing Reiki. You're like a very visual. Am I
Yeah.
right with that? Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
it
was like,
it
I
just
think
keeps
that's true.
getting stronger and stronger, especially recently. Spirit is really knocking, and I'm kind of resisting a little, but yeah, Spirit's giving me so many signs and little pennies that I ask for. It's really intense. It's really a blessing, though. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in, right away. But once you like can hone it, which I know your mom had discussed too, that you and your sister would have these experiences of seeing things. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that? What was your experience as a child?
um, Growing up, my sister and I have always been little, like you said before, like little fairies. We used to play fairies, and that's like one of my best childhood memories with Skyla. And we used to play fairies and pretend go outside and like roll around and pretend that we had these powers and see the light shining through the trees. Now that I'm thinking about it, and we were like, "Oh, this is so awesome! This is so cool!" And then we would like go inside and we'd like pretend that we had to like keep it secret, from like mom and dad, and be like, we don't have, like, it's like a secret. We like have these like fairy powers and stuff. And then as we got older, we kind of found out that our intuition is like spot on, both of us, that we um can sometimes connect to the spirit realm in various ways. I don't know, seeing people, hearing people, getting signs. Whenever I lose something and I really don't know where it is, I'll call Sky and I'll be like, "Where is this?" And she'll tell me where it is, most
I
of the
love
time.
it.
So,
That's so
yeah,
cool
so
that you guys are
we've
that
always
connected.
been kind of connected in that way. And as she's getting older too, she's tapping into it more. And ever since the Reiki attunement really like pushed me off the cliff for intuition, right into
I
free
love
fall
that.
into deep intuition. So yeah, intuition is strong in our family.
I love
Mm-hmm.
it. I love it. And yeah, it does make a difference when you have someone that you can talk to about it. I talked to my sister
Mm-hmm.
growing up about all these weird things that would happen. And that's
Mm-hmm.
one thing we've always really connected on, with our beliefs being similar with a lot of those types of things. And even
Yeah.
with you experiencing that with your sister, I heard that, you can tap into this fairy energy. And I think that's,
Mm-hmm.
it's a matter of how we relate, how we connect. And it sounds so playful and childful, like, because, it is, you were a child, but at the same time, it's important to keep that magic alive, because it is
Mm-hmm.
really a magical gift if you look at it in that light. And it's really
Mm-hmm.
beautiful that you have continued to craft that, and that your sister also has that way of tapping into that as well. So yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
definitely important to have that guidance and that support. So that's
Yeah.
awesome. Um, how about you share do you have an activity or something that we'd like to share with viewers and listeners that they can take part in if they are looking to hone their gift?
Yes. So I've been doing um pranayama before my yoga practice, just quick breath before my practice every day. And there's breath work that is really good for anxiety or just heavy feelings, and it's supposed to reset your nervous system, and it's really easy. It only takes about 30 seconds to do. So, so take a comfy seat and slowly float the eyes closed. And you're going to inhale from your nose, filling the belly, filling the chest, and hold. And exhale through the nose, coming down through the chest into the belly. So we're going to do inhale 4 seconds, hold 4 seconds, exhale 4 seconds at everyone's own pace. And that's it.
Nice.
It really lets you find your breath and feel your heart space, and just set into your body and bring awareness to the mind, bring awareness to your breath, and take you out of that crazy state, or just help you slow down a little bit. But that's been my favorite breath work to do recently, and I do it in the grocery store, I do it in bed, I do it on my mat, I do it everywhere. It's really, really awesome.
That's awesome. So, what is it that you think is the biggest benefit with yoga? Or what would you say to encourage people to practice in these pranayama breathing practices, as well as with moving the body and other asanas?
Mm-hmm. So prana is this life force energy that we all have. So that's why I like to do it before I practice, because it really lets me bring the awareness that I need to practice asana into the body, into the mind, into the soul. And going through yoga asana is so important for physical and mental and spiritual and emotional health. It has been the biggest tool for me ever. I don't know where I would be without it, honestly. And I don't know. It just allows you to sit back and just really be present in your life and in the moment, and taking mindful movement and honoring your body, really like holding space for yourself. And by holding space for yourself, you can hold space for others. So
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
why I think yoga is so important.
It's a big one. It's a big one for
Mm-hmm.
sure. And I'm really excited to announce that you are going to be hosting a free mini meditation for those that would like to hop on the Zoom on Sunday the 21st at 4:30 p.m. So why don't you tell everyone a little bit about that, and how, if they are looking to take part in it, how they can get a hold of you to get that link.
So 21st Sunday night, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. Um, Eastern time. Most of my people are
Mhm.
on that side of the world. So um, I will. I'm gonna post it on my Instagram and my Facebook, and I'll probably reach out to people via text as well. Maybe I'll make a Facebook invite event thing. Um, and then if you provide me with your email, then I will send you the link to the class, and be ready there at 4:30 for some deep connection and meditation, maybe a little mindful movement before we settle in. But yeah, I've been feeling really called to host this class because of COVID, and because I feel like so many people are feeling so disconnected right now. I think that
Mhm.
everyone needs to connect to themselves and others and earth and their intuition and all of it. We all need to calm down a little bit and connect.
Hone it back in with the soft. No, I
Mhm.
understand too with the urgency. And when you texted me about it, I said, we have to do a recording right away because I want to promote this
Mhm.
because I too have been called, I've been wanting to do a Facebook Live with Yoga Nidra. So I'm going to actually be doing a Yoga Nidra class as well this Thursday, the 18th at 7 p.m. on Facebook. So what I'll do if you are listening, I will put a link to my Facebook page as well as Emory's, and then you can message if you are looking to take part in the meditation on Sunday. And if you are friends with me on Facebook, then you can hop on the Facebook Live when that's taking place Thursday at 7 p.m. So, two beautiful, really healing modalities with the meditation and with the yoga nidra. I've always been really drawn to that practice because it really helps you to connect with your, peeling away the layers with your higher conscious yourself. And you can set these sankalpas, these resolves that can really allow you to transform once you can keep getting into that state. And it's kind of similar with the meditation. The more that you practice it, the more that you're able to achieve that state where true transformations can happen. So, really excited for both of us to be sharing these practices with with the Heavenly Pennies listeners today.
Mhm.
Yes, yes. So, why don't you tell everyone who you have as a favorite spiritual influencer, an author, or a book, as well as a musician?
So, I put my favorite influencer, my favorite yogi is Gypsy on Instagram. I think she actually changed her name to her full name, Hannah Seller, but she's this little Hawaiian yogi chick. She's super cool. Her handstand practice is amazing. It's really, really awesome. She does acro and stuff, and she's just really real, and she's awesome, and she really has the cutest yoga clothes I've ever seen. So love her. She's cool. Um, Book. I haven't read any good books lately, honestly, but a really good book that I read in high school, I remember was Did I Ever Wake Up by Madsen. And it's about law of attraction and like his story and everything. And I remember being in high school and being like, wow, like people really like switched their lives up like so quickly just with mindset. So that's a really important book. Um, and music, of course, Sublime, my favorite forever,
Love
or
it.
the Grateful Dead forever.
You are such an old
Such
soul,
good
old
vibes.
fairy soul.
Such
I
good.
swear you are. So great. I love it so much. Yeah, that's both good ones, both good ones for sure. How about for those that are in college right now or even in high school? I know it's really a very off challenging experience for some. And I love that you have just totally fully embraced it and said, what can I do with this to make it a memorable experience? So what would you say, maybe someone won't pick up and go across the country, to go live somewhere. Maybe they're not up for that. But what would you say just to help them to tap into a little bit more of their free spirited nature to really live their life to the fullest during these times?
Do it. Make every day fun. Do whatever you want as long as it's respectful to yourself and others. And oh, I really like this one. My friend from yoga school posted something, and she said, "If it's not a hell yeah, it's a hell no." So hell
Mm,
yeah, hell yeah moves
it's a good
only.
one.
Hell yeah moves only.
So do it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Mm.
Um, so I pulled a card. It's from my Spirit Song Tarot deck by Paulina Cassidy. Love this one, and I like to pull it before the show. Just and I didn't read it yet. I just bookmarked it here. Um, see if it's resonating, obviously, with you and with our topic of the show and with listeners, because again, messages, pennies can be delivered in multiple ways. So we
Mhm.
have the Five of Shells. So this is what we have. This is the card that was pulled, the Five of Shells, right?
Mhm.
So the Five of Shells, it's the firefly of hope and readjustment. Firefly's glow is the spark to light a way of hope. This little illuminator is a reminder that things are not always as they seem. She will show you that your path will be lighter and clearer by allowing beauty to grace your life. Firefly's shining light is the embodiment of freedom of the spirit. She is the promise of repairing a broken spirit through faith in yourself. By igniting your inner light, healing takes place. This healing releases sorrow, which brings a renewed outlook for the future. Learn from the lesson of experience and focus on the light in your life. The light within is stronger than you know. By finding ways to reinvigorate yourself, you will find the direction that best suits your life at this time. Repair, change, release, hope, and readjustment. The firefly. So, hope you
Love
like
it.
that. Yay.
Definitely resonates.
Yes, definitely with the freedom and the free spirit and firefly. I mean, they make me think of very childlike, fun, playful energy,
Mhm.
you know, and I would go catch them
Mhm.
with my sister in the yard at night and stuff or fill the jar,
Mhm.
which now I feel awful. I'm like, I don't want to kill them. You know, I'm like, let me not do that again. Like, RIP fireflies, we love you. But
We didn't know. We thought it
yeah,
was
you
cute.
know, it was but yeah, no, so happy to have you on here today. Just want to end with a closing of what does spirituality mean to you?
To me, it means, like I said before, everyone needs this connection, and that's like um a big word that I keep hearing from spirit. And connection, I think spirituality means connection to yourself and your soul and the earth and others and your intuition and your higher self and your best friend's higher self and your mom's higher self and your dad's higher self, and just deep connection, and oneness to everything that is, I am that I am.
Beautiful, beautiful. Also, I almost forgot to tell you, I put your little painting that I got from you the last time
That's
when you were at
so
the
cute.
Allentown Arts Fest. I brought it. I
Oh.
love this painting. I love the creativity with art, and this like reminds me of a beautiful like a Reiki coloring. That's why I was really
Mhm.
drawn to this one. And I know with me personally, I love painting, although I haven't been putting a lot of energy into that lately with all of the other
Mhm.
projects, but it's just a really beautiful creative outlet. Even in college, when I first got into painting, I remember thinking I was awful. I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. This looks horrible. And then I kind of found my own like abstract way of painting. And it was like,
Mhm.
okay, well, this doesn't really look like the vase of feathers, but this is how I'm envisioning it to look. And it really was just really, you know, you have the same I guess I do with a lot of incorporating a lot of color. That's one of the things that I
Mhm.
love to create on the canvas. And you know, art is in itself, I call it a penny. It's something that you can really tap into, again, that inner light, that creativity when you are looking to really find even another meditative tool, because painting and
Mhm.
art is a tool as well, right?
Mhm. Yeah, that's actually really funny that you said that because I haven't done much painting since COVID happened, honestly, although I should be. Um, and I did one piece and I was really mad because I thought that I was gonna make this like amazing, like beautiful, like best piece ever, and I really didn't like the way that it looked. So um, I Reiki'd my paint. Actually, that's so funny. I then that reminded me because you said that reminds me. I Reiki'd my paint and I set an intention. I was like, best piece ever. Like, don't like please, like Um, and I think I sent the intention for a peaceful home. I think, I don't know, and at first I did it again, and I did the piece, and I was like, I still hate this. I don't like this. And then I added a little bit more to it, and I was like, okay, this is good. Like this is a really good comeback, you know. But like so
Molding
funny,
it,
I
remolding
totally
it.
forgot that I had like the paint, the canvas, the like everything. I was like all of the good on it, you know.
Yes. Well, and I know it's again because you're surrendering to the piece when you're painting,
Mhm.
right? So it's like I know I would do I started doing paintings as a gift for people for their weddings. So I would be sitting there and because it's this gift too, right? It's not like it's just
Yeah.
something I'm just doing for me. So I'm like,
Right.
"Oh, please work, you know, and then there comes a point you need to just kind of surrender and go with it. And sometimes it works out beautiful. Other times you're like, what did I just do? And you really need to just step away. When that happens, when you're like, what is going on? You, word of advice, just step back from it, take some
Yes.
time. And when you can step back and relook at it, then you can say, okay, now I can come back to it because you can always redo the canvas. You can always repaint the white over it and,
Mhm.
tweak it whatever way that you're going. I know some of the
Mhm.
pieces that I created that ended up turning into a big blob of I don't know what. I just added some more white. I let it go for a little bit, stepped
Mhm.
away from it for about a day, returned to it, and you just paint the white, you go back into it. And then sometimes it turns out even more beautiful than you can
Right.
imagine because
Mhm.
once you can surrender to it and you can say, okay, it's not where I wanted it to be, but we can get it there. It's just a matter of just
Exactly.
playing with the paint, raking it, or whatever it is you need to do to get that canvas right. So
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So yes, well, maybe that's your penny to revisit painting if you have time, because I know it's
Mhm.
limited now with school and everything else. You're like me with businesses and that too is another really exciting point. I know you created your own business at how old were you when you launched your first own little business? Stop. Don't even cringe at that because that to
It's
me,
so cringy. It's so cringy. But
no,
it's
no,
now
but
it's
it's
like cute.
great.
It's
It is
like cute.
great
I was
because you
probably like
did something.
14
You
or
were
like
14 and
15.
created your own little business. And I'm sitting here, I'm way over that now. And here I am trying to establish my business. And I'm like, this girl had something going when she was 14. I'm like, you're way ahead of the game. What was it? It was like a clothing line or something.
Mhm. Mhm. I had all my friends like come and like model for me all cute and stuff, and I was like, yes, girls, like we're making money, like yeah, like it's so cute.
So fantastic. Listen, don't cringe at that because you know what? It's what made you who you are. And it was
It
like that
did.
was like the building foundation because now it's like you have your yoga business. You're doing it, as a young entrepreneur.
Mhm.
And that's something that takes a lot of courage and empowerment for someone, especially at that age, to step foot into doing something like that.
Mhm.
Any tips for people if they're looking to establish their own business or words of advice or wisdom? I know I've learned a lot over these past few weeks. Buying your own domain, doing your research, looking into the different various platforms that are available or the ways to go
Mhm.
about it. There's a lot of different like things and tools that are involved with it all. But if you can just bullet point it, I would say, with the points from like start to finish, sometimes that can
Yeah.
help because you can get really ahead
Mhm.
of yourself, right? And
Yeah.
what would you say to, motivate people or something that you learned in the building your own business?
Um, just write out a plan with ideas big or small or everything in between. Just write out exactly what you want, um, how you want it to go, your target audience. I just did a report on this literally like on Friday. So
I love it.
your target audience, your like what makes you special as a brand or a business, your social media names, your business name, your pictures, what's your like all of the things like that. But set up social media and reach out to friends and family first because they'll always take care of you, you know. So start there and then see how it grows, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you don't know unless you take the leap and you just try and pursue whatever it is that you're looking to do.
Exactly.
And just by, establishing, okay, get the website going, the newsletter,
Mhm.
so you get your email base. You
Mhm.
can go the route if you're looking to whatever that platform is that you're utilizing. And really, when you can find the way of them interweaving together, that's how it really can really build
Yeah.
and grow. Because the one thing that I've discovered is I could have one idea and I didn't realize until now at this point where that was going.
Right.
Initially I had the book. It was, okay, I'm writing the pennies from heaven. This is it. This is my modality. Then I got the
Mhm.
yoga and the Reiki, which I didn't realize interweaved with even this podcast. So
Mhm.
it's once you can go in with it and you go with the flow, the other branches, the other limbs will kind of guide you in where it is
Yes.
that you need to go next. And really
Mhm.
just listening to your inner intuition and your inner self and allowing your higher self to guide you through the process, because it's very easy for ego humanism to get in the way, not only blocking yourself but also as far as control or where you expect to be. But when you can step back from that and you can say, okay, I'm going to do this, and you can surrender to it a little bit and just
Mhm.
allow yourself to go with the flow, that's when
Mhm.
everything kind of lines itself up,
Yeah.
and you get all
Everything everything aligns without you even realizing it. So
the.
in the craziest ways. So
I also
although I like
heard from someone, Teresa, she's going to be on an upcoming episode as well. She had suggested to me that you don't need to allow yourself to get overwhelmed with all of the different social media platforms that are out there. I'll admit I'm not big with Twitter, and
Mhm.
she said, just pick your few. And as long as you're
Right.
rocking those few and they are still targeting your audience and the people that are going to be attracted to you, then that's all that matters. Because it doesn't matter, like, as far as how many people you're reaching, it's who you're reaching, right? So if
Exactly.
you're, I'm big on Facebook and Instagram, and I've kind of dabbled a little bit with YouTube now, and but find your core, because you don't need to overexpand yourself on all of them, or maybe you have a LinkedIn, but you're not as active on there, but you just kind of sprinkle the little pennies, you just kind of like do a
Mhm.
little bit of this or that and just kind of put it out there. Yeah, LinkedIn, though, I would definitely suggest for people, if you are looking to network with people, it is a great site to be on. Regardless of what field you are in, I know that I've connected with a lot of people on there, in addition to other social media platforms, people that have kind of found. And that's an important thing with running a small business as well, is to really network and
Yeah.
just put yourself out there and meet your people.
Mhm. So true. So true.
Awesome. Awesome. And thank you so much, you Jem, for being on the
Thank
Heavenly Pennies
you.
podcast. I'm
Thank you so much.
so delighted to see you traveling through your journey. Just keep shining that little fairy light and spreading that little pixie dust. And you just keep doing it, girl. I'm excited to see what's coming for you next.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right,
We'll
girlfriend.
see you.
Bye.
Bye.